I think Gandhi's words say it best, that there is more to life than increasing its speed. The entire upcoming third revolution will be all about data evolution. Any development of an industry goes through a series of development, definition, development, definement, and refinement. So as we embark onto the next third industrial revolution of the global pulse trade, we can start to look at how these shifts are occurring. Moving from more primitive hunter and gathering techniques to more advanced tools to aid decision makers and build the trade network. As you can see, there's a huge digital divide. A recent report by the World Economic Forum illustrates this divide. There's nearly 2.75 billion internet users, consisting of about 36% of the world's population. Indian pulse farmers, however, aren't as concerned about this digital divide. They're worried about monsoons and paying off their loans. Ethiopian farmers are not as worried about the digital divide or white bean crops in Argentina or chickpea harvest in India. He's worried about getting his donkey to the market, his donkey and product to the market. The World Economic Forum also came out with a Network Readiness Index, the NRI. The NRI measures the prosperity for countries to exploit opportunities offered by information, communication, and technology. Here you have listed a few of the top members and low members on the Network Readiness Index. In general, the lower the country is on the index, the less prepared it is to have the most current information about the food commodities being grown, processed, or traded in that country. Beyond the digital divide, there's also the language divide. So the trader role today in commodities is rapidly changing. Physical trading of large commodities such as wheat, corn, soybeans, and now pulses has entered a new era of sophistication and scale, changing global economic conditions and giving rise to exciting new opportunities and challenges. Innovative companies and organizations, such as the IPGA, CECILs, are helping to bridge this information and language divide. Here we have a few companies that we'd like to spotlight. These companies are known for their sophistication and for their advancements in the global pulse industry. More trading companies are moving forward with an integrated model. In recent years, acquisitions of assets, whether producing, logistics, storage, or downstreaming by trade companies, have continued to proliferate, giving traders exposure both up and down the value chain. Innovators such as Remo Padone Group, and Akos SPA have bridged the information gap by working with foreign governments and growers to improve processing and exporting capabilities in developing countries. Multinational companies have invested millions and millions of dollars to build or acquire assets in foreign countries. They're working to create networks and assets and intranets for information. These sophisticated global companies are paying their part by transforming the way commodities are purchased and sold in countries where they operate. Pure traditional models, where a company's capital essentially is tied up in short-term positions, their broad-based international assets provide more options, but they require longer-term and commitment of capital with associated implications and necessary financial strategies for the entire company. Here we have an example where Here we have an example of a company that has not only expanded internationally, but also grown horizontally in the value chain, adding capabilities that create both new products and new markets, powders, concentrates, and flours, for example. Information is and will remain a competitive asset. Those companies that set upon themselves to obtain and most perfect and timely information will have a strong competitive advantage over companies with single geographic locations using old grapevine methods. The increasing size of these sophisticated companies able to gain information will increase the need for advanced information tools. International Food Trader magazine is committed to the upcoming International Year of the Pulse, and we strive to assist CSILs and the entire global Pulse community with promoting the global pulses. Sorry. You can find interviews online where we are a voice for the trade. We have journalists all throughout the world in various markets, and our primary focus is within pulses and outlining popcorn and sunflowers. I know you're all ready for lunch, and I've probably taken up plenty of your time already, so have a great day, and thank you again.
Thank you, Nicole. You finished well in time. May I please request Sunil Savla from the IPGA to do us the honors and present you with a memento. Thank you for being here with us and making that presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on very quickly to the last panel of the day. This panel is on lentils and is going to be chaired by Peter Wilson of Australia Milling Group. In the panel, we have Sunil Baldeva of Siliguri Associates, from Mayur Gobel, Harsha Rai, Rao Kapoor from ETG, from Mega Grain, Neeraj Dhawan, and Gerard Dunkersgod from ILTA Grain. It's my pleasure now to welcome the moderator for this session, Peter Wilson, Australia Milling Group. As Peter steps up, please also welcome our panelists one by one. Sunil Baldeva, Siliguri Associates, Harsha Rai, Mayur Global, Rao Kapoor, ETG, Neeraj Dhawan, Mega Grain, already on stage, and Gerard Dunkersgod, ILTA. This is the last panel for this conclave, ladies and gentlemen. So until 2016, we want to do the best right here. Over to you, Peter.
Thank you, sir. Now I think we've got a little presentation here. There we go. What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you very much for staying for the last session. Always the tough one. So everybody stand up and just wave your hands around so that you're awake and ready. No, stand up, stand up. Seriously, stand up. Righto. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, so we've got the last session today. We're going to talk about lentils. We've got amassed here a wealth of experience, and most of which don't need any introduction, but I'm going to do a very short one anyway. Harsha, of course, is a master of business, 5 years experience, and she told us last night, happily married. And she has tremendous, I guess, exposure to the processing side of the business. And as she expands her brokerage business, that knowledge is clearly key to her ability to be able to get those deals closed. So we've got some good knowledge there in terms of the processing sector of that central India. Rav Kapoor, CEO of another company that's moving quite rapidly, which is there we go, ETG. Just got the letters mixed up. It's the CEO of North America. So we welcome Rav because he's got that sort of global picture. It's a company, ETG, moving very, very quickly to expand its global footprint, and it'll be very interesting to watch them as they go along the next couple of years. We've got Sunil, who is an importer, so I guess he's dealing with the intricacies of the market every day and understands, I guess, what's required when those goods arrive in India and making sure they're getting to the distribution channels efficiently. Neeraj Javan doesn't need a lot of introduction. Everybody knows him. He's been in the business for a very long time, a couple of decades, and building a very, very nice business within Mega Grain, and we'll look forward to his experience. Gerald, a very old and dear friend from Canada. He told me last night he's 30 years in this business. He started out trading peas and lentils, and he's still trading peas and lentils, ladies and gentlemen, doing a wonderful job too. He is only halfway through his career trading peas and lentils, he said. So very good to have you here, Gerald. We're just going to do a bit of scene setting in terms of the presentation, and then we're going to move into some hard-hitting discussion about the lentil market. In terms of a summary of the lentil producers, you can't have a discussion about lentils without looking at Canada. Canada has done a phenomenal job in a relatively short space of time to put itself where it has placed itself on the global pulses stage. So clearly the big game in town. India, naturally major producer and also consumer. Turkey, major producer, and now I'm also a major importer, so some interesting dynamics there. USA participating as well. Australia, we are punching along nicely, but we're limited in the areas we can grow lentils currently. And of course, Syria, you can see production has largely collapsed, and I think we all know the reasons for that due to the instability. In terms of total production, you can see here why the market is really reluctant to come off too much at the present time. We are tightening up ending stocks. We've come from a position where we had relatively burdensome ending stocks that saw a period of very weak lentil prices. Now we're seeing some real stability come back into that lentil market, and we're probably poised for further growth. So we're going to discuss through the next few minutes all of the major points, but hopefully we can cover some of these key issues. And of course, to set the scene, we'll leave the picture of a lentil field up on the screen. So we'll move into the panel. I'll ask the first question of Neeraj and then have the panel comment. Let's talk about India. Clearly the big game in town in terms of destination, and we're seeing a lot of changes happening to Indian supply side, particularly yield. So I'd like Neeraj to make some comments as to what you're seeing in India from red lentils.
Okay, coming to Indian part. As per Indian government statistics, area under cultivation is approximately 1.5 million acres, million hectares, and as per that, the total production will be approximately 1.1 million ton. And the import as per government data last year was approximately 800,000 ton, and till September the total import was approximately 530,000 ton.
Are you saying you think this coming crop will be 1 million tonnes?
Till September.
No, I'm saying the production for the coming season.
As far as the coming season production is concerned, actually speaking, the government data says 1.1 million ton. But uh, 15 days back, myself went to the field. We saw what is actually happening on the ground. And we found out that most of the area, which used to be lentil growing area, uh, normally lentil is grown in parts of UP and MP. UP, Bihar and Bengal. These are the three places where the small size crop and medium size crop, lentils, they come in approximately 400,000 ton on an average, if it's a good crop and seeding is proper. And out of Madhya Pradesh area, the total crop is approximately 700,000 ton. But we went to the areas of UP, Itawa, then we went to Baraich, all these areas. We find out the crop is really less there. Approximately what I could find out is approximately 50% crop is less as compared to last, because farmers have preferred seeding wheat as compared to lentils. So this is the major factor which is going to drive in the coming days. And stocks, when we find out from the millers, are nil, almost nil. And 15 days back or 10 days back, there was a good rainfall in all these areas, which has further delayed the harvesting. The harvesting will start after 25th of March, normally.